just fed them, guys. I swear these guys get food all the time. Guys. So, I don't know if I can do this. Welcome back to Mulberry Branch Farm, y'all. So, we did a little bit of planting again earlier today. We did peppers, we did, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, we did some lettuce. We tried to get that started. So now I actually have a couple of feed bags that I have laying around because I go through a lot of feed. So there we go. Here's our feed bags. And I have those potato starts that you guys saw. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go back to the manure pile in our goat enclosure. And I'm going to go ahead and get some of that manure, the sweet, sweet poops. And I'm going to fill these bags with it and make my own kind of grow bag for potatoes. Now, we've never grown potatoes, mostly just because I could always just go to the store and get them. But, you know, in light of different things that are happening now in our world, I figure, it might not be a bad thing to have going all the time. So we're going to go ahead and make our own grow bags. I didn't really want to wait to order them, and I have so many feed bags laying around, which I'm sure most of you homesteaders do too, that have livestock. Here's just one more thing that we can use, or I should say reuse, instead of making more trash. So I know that they need to be well drained. They like moist, loose soil, but it needs to be drained from what I've read. So I will be putting holes down in the bottom, right down in here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, because you guys saw that I did have those starts, those eyes that I cut out of some potatoes that were greening in my seed start update. And if you didn't get to see that, there's going to be something up here right in the top. Go ahead and click on it. You can go and catch up on our seed starts and our experiments that we had that are doing really, really well. So let's get to it, guys. Let's get some of these made. All right, so we're back by our manure pile, and you can see this portion right here. That's from last year. Everything that you see that's further up towards the door is from this year. So usually I'll move this stuff out back, like in this wood line, so that it can mature and compost and biodegrade and decay and whatever. But for some reason last year I just didn't get around to it, so now it's right here. So we're gonna go ahead and dig some up, get it into these feed bags, and do our repurposed feed bag potato bag growing system. I don't know, something like that, guys. We're gonna grow some potatoes in our old feed bags. That's all I know. Get out of that, get out of that. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is, this is way too tall, so I'm just going to fold it down, and this will also allow me that I've got a feed bag, guys. They recognize the bag, they just don't recognize there's no food. Look, no food. No food, no food, no food, no food, empty, 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 empty. I just fed them, guys. I swear these guys get food all the time. Guys. So, I don't know if I can do this. Quit, get out of here. Get out of here, Bo. Oh, man. Oh, Lord. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to use a decoy and try to get the sun out of your guys' eyes. All right, decoy. Look, guys. Bag. Bag. Go get it. Okay, so I've got my first bag. I'm trying to get one that they're not familiar with. And we're just, because when you... So these are too tall. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to fold them down. And what that'll allow me to do is, once I've got my dirt in here, hi Bo, hi Bo. Once I've got my dirt in here and it starts to sprout, when it gets to about 8 inches in growth, I'll add more dirt to it till it's about at the 4-inch mark on that sprout, and I can roll this up as I go, and that'll keep it nice and cool, and it'll give it more room for those potatoes to grow inside. So hopefully they stop molesting me long enough to let me do that for you guys. See, we're just folding it down just enough where we'll be able to get a good amount in there, and roll it up. And the good thing about doing these is that they're going to be very transportable. So potatoes like to be grown in full sun. So because they're in a smaller container, I can kind of move them anywhere I want. I mean, this is good for not just us homesteaders that have extra feed bags, but if you live in the city and you have a patio outside, or maybe you live in the suburbs and you've got a dog or a cat, and the material of the bag is kind of plasticky and woven like this, you can easily do the same thing and grow a bunch of potatoes on your back porch. So it's not just for homesteaders, it's not just for farmers, it can be done by anybody, pretty much anywhere that the sun shines and you've got a bag full of dirt. This might not have been a good idea to film in the goat pen. All right, guys, let's go ahead and fill them up. There you go, Katie. I guess the faster I get these filled, the better, huh? Such a thing around the farm.
Stop, Dad!
Look, girls, it's your new feed. We're repurposing your poop. Like that? Probably not. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Guys, stop going in your own feces.
Feces, not feces. And potatoes like a consistency that's loose. So nice, loose, and moist. So you can see that it's really easy. And when you kind of clump it together, it holds, but you can break it apart real easy. And that's about the right consistency you want for this dirt. There we go. There's one bag. Now on to the next one. Get out of there, guys.
Mom, I found a new way to do this.
Did you?
Each here, all you have to say is put it on reverse, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry? Yeah.
Should have named him Terry.
Should have named him Terry. Terry the goat. Put it in reverse, Terry. Oh.
Terry took him down. Baby goat come to eat food.
Oh, come on.
I get him.
All right, so now we're on to our last step. We went ahead, we got our old feed bags. We're gonna repurpose them into making potato growing bags. We got all of our manure in here from our compost pile behind the goat barn. Now we've got the eyes that you saw me in a prior video cut out, and we're gonna set these in here about six inches apart. So that might give me enough for 4, and if I even want to, I could stack 2 inches of dirt on that and then put one more, maybe catty cornered. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Once you get these, your eyes in, your eyes should always be with the eye facing up, because this is what's going to sprout up. Then you got the 2 inches of dirt on top of that, and if you have any type of mulch like old leaves or just a thin layer of old grass clippings, that would be enough to mulch the top. And you'll probably, it's the earlier part of spring, so we probably won't have to water potatoes as much now. Now in the high part of summer, we might have to water these bad boys 1 to 2 times a week, but right now I bet we could get around with away with anywhere from 10 to 14 days, because we're getting a lot of rain and it's not quite that warm yet. So let's go ahead and get these planted. I think that's going to do it for us here on Mulberry Branch Farm. We got our potatoes ready to go. We're going to get them in the sun, get them a nice watering, and then it'll be about 10 to 14 days before we see sprouts come up. And then from there, we'll just monitor them as they get taller. Right around 8 inches is when we'll start to roll the sides of this bag up, add more dirt to keep their stems nice and cool, and encourage the plant to make more potatoes for us, more bang for the buck. So I can't wait to bring you along with us on that. It's going to be anywhere from 70 to 120 days before we can get our harvest in, so we'll have to be really patient. I know I want fresh baked potatoes, I want mashed potatoes, but patience is key here with this plant. So I hope that we'll be able to bring you along when we have a successful harvest on this. So if you found yourself enjoying this video at any time, please go ahead, drop us a like, give us a comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, because as the spring goes on and ramps up, so will our projects, and we can't wait to bring you guys along with us on those. So I can't wait to see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.